the 2021 Stoney Awards. My name is Mallery Jenna Robinson, and I'm the chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Stonewall Democratic Club. Thank you so much for attending tonight. Although many events are starting to go back to in person, Stonewall wanted to be prudent and host our event virtually. Hopefully, we will be back in person next year. But we have a wonderful event prepared for you tonight. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of Veterans Day and in gratitude to all of our club members who's currently serving or who are veterans. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mallery. And thanks to everyone who is here tonight with us. My name is Freddie Puza, and it's an honor to serve as a chair of major events for Stonewall. A special event like this would not be possible without the financial contribution from our donors. In fact, it's not too late to make a donation. You can go to stonewalldems.org and donate there. Please join me in thanking the sponsors, starting with our top sponsors, the Platinum Level, National Union of Healthcare Workers, Sepi Shyne, Mayor Pro Tem for the City of West Hollywood, United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 770, Assembly Member Richard Bloom, Unite Here 11, our gold sponsors, Jane Wishon, Stonewall Vice President of Political Action, Catherine Pinos for City Council, District 13, Paul Koretz, George Gascon, LA City District Attorney, Karen Bass, Richard Zabur, Isaac Bryan, Mike Fuhr, Los Angeles City Attorney, David Tyrone Behetti, candidate for LA City Controller, Mitch O'Farrell, George Whitesides, our silver sponsors, Austin Sear, the Los Angeles County Democratic Party, Mark Gonzalez, chair of the Los Angeles County Democratic Party, Faisal Gill, Lindsay Horvath, Stephen Simon, Ron Galperin, LA City Controller, Andre Licht for Beverly Hills Council, Lorraine Lundquist, Jimmy Bibzar, candidate for LA City Council District 5, Nico Brancolini, attorney at Kessel Law LLP, Rob Wilcox, candidate for LA City Controller, Hayden Connor Ashworth, Stephen Johnson, candidate for LA City Council District 13, Timothy and Connie McOyster, Susan Shu, Christy Smith, Siam Rohr, Richard Quinones, Long Beach Vice Mayor Rex Richardson, Kip Mueller, Katie Yaroslavsky, candidate for Los Angeles City Council District 5, Michael Gamble, and Mike Bonin, LA City Council Member, District 11. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and back to you, Mallery.
Thank you, Freddie. Next is our president's message with the Stonewall Democratic Club's president, Alex Mahajer. But before he speaks, we'll like to share a brief video with you on the history of Stonewall.
have been beaten. I have had my nose broken. I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the fuck's wrong with you all?
Speaking to you from the Supreme Court, we have read from the bench, there is a right to marriage equality. I repeat, speaking to you from the steps of the Supreme Court, there is a right to marriage equality.
At 92, it feels like this is where I am supposed to be saying this. Get off your asses.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Mahajer.
Thank you, Mallory, and good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight as we celebrate the 44th annual Stoney Awards. My name is Alex Mahajer, and in July, during the largest meeting of our 46-year history, I was honored to be elected the next president of the Stonewall Democratic Club. I'm proud to become the club's first millennial and first Iranian-American president, and to stand on the shoulders of a long lineage of activists who worked for decades to make ours one of the largest and most influential Democratic clubs in the state of California, and indeed one of the oldest LGBTQ and feminist political advocacy organizations in the United States. Today, we have nearly 800 members and thriving political, communications, financial development, community, and operations teams. Our slate mailers go out to more than 10,000 households all over LA County. Our steering committee is composed of 45 members who handle everything from email list communications to social media, fundraising, endorsements, leadership development, legislative action, and more. But it all began on a warm autumn night on November 8th, 1975, when just 13 queer Angelenos, spearheaded by Morris Kite, Howard Fox, Clayton Wells, and Jerry Parker, congregated in a Spanish-style stucco apartment in Los Feliz and commenced the very first meeting of the Stonewall Democratic Club. The founding members of the organization, inspired by the Stonewall riots, described the name Stonewall the, quote, language of liberation. And although they had been involved heavily for years with activist groups like the Gay Liberation Front, felt that there was a need to translate the enormous momentum of the time into political change, and that the LGBTQ community did not have its interests adequately represented in electoral politics. They desired to link the spirit of the liberation movement with what they called the progressive humanitarian outreach of the Democratic Party. So they moved quickly, established their agenda and our bylaws, and elected our first president, Morris Kite. By 1976, the Stonewall Democrats had succeeded in advocating for the adoption of the gay rights plank into the party platform of the California Democratic Party and sent 4 delegates to the Democratic National Convention. The rest, as they say, is herstory. Stonewall has had a front row seat to every major social movement of our time since, whether it be the National March on Washington, the HIV/AIDS crisis, the fight for marriage equality, resisting the Trump administration, or shouting from the mountaintops that Black Lives Matter. Our organization has been there pushing, advocating, resisting, and fighting, with each generation moving us closer to true equality and representation and facing their own unique set of challenges. Back in 1975, as our founding members got hard at work establishing this organization's roots, just a few miles away in Pasadena, California, a young Iranian single mother immigrated to the US to give her kids the opportunities that she did not have. She spoke not a lick of English and worked multiple jobs while going to school at night in order to put food on the table, to ensure her kids had a quality education, and to establish herself in a country where her family could pursue their own American dream. It would still be 10 years before my mom, Sarah, would give birth to me in 1985, but her sacrifice is why tonight, her son, who would have likely been killed in her home country, instead stands before you as the 19th president of one of the oldest and largest LGBTQ+ democratic clubs in the nation. So it will come as no surprise that I have a deep reverence for the sacrifice and the struggle of those who come before us, whether it's our mothers or the activists who chanted silence equals death as AIDS wiped out a generation of our people. When I was elected in July, I promised to move this club into the future, expand and diversify our reach, and honor our movement's history of activism and the responsibility that our namesake, Stonewall, imputes upon us to marginalized members of our community. Which is why tonight we will be honoring the activists, organizations, and elected officials who have been on the ground doing the work of bringing about social justice in their respective communities and recommitting ourselves to the spirit of the liberation movement while we do the work of pushing for a more diverse, progressive, and inclusive Democratic Party. And as a side note, all of our honorees tonight are women. I am proud to report that we have already been making good on that promise. Half of our newly elected officers are serving on the executive board for the first time, and more than a third of our steering committee is new to leadership. My first order of business as president was to create new committees on bylaws reform, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to appoint community ambassadors to Long Beach, Compton, and the Antelope Valley. My appointments to these committees included 7 people of color, 2 trans people, 3 lesbians, and 2 disabled persons, and all of these new committees are majority female. Together, we have hit the ground running, working successfully to defeat the Republican recall efforts against our governor, Gavin Newsom, a victory that is being credited to the work of community organizers like Stonewall, who, led by our political vice president, Jane Wishon, and one of our honorees tonight, Karen Eyres, our chair of political action, got hard at work canvassing, phone banking, texting, and tabling in order to stop a Republican power grab. We were able to host our first ever Stonewall Summer Social, our first in-person event in over 18 months, where we were proud to donate 100% of the proceeds to the legal fund of Ed Buck's victims. Following the atrocious anti-abortion laws that were passed in Texas, Stonewall partnered with the Women's March Foundation to organize and attend the March for Reproductive Rights, and had speakers from our organization represent us in downtown LA, West Los Angeles, Long Beach, and West Hollywood. We joined our trans siblings in protest over Netflix and their handling of trans employees demanding cultural changes at that company. And we were also proud to give back to the community and donate to the Marsha P. Johnson Institute's COVID-19 Recovery Fund, which gives direct aid relief payments to Black, transgender, or non-binary identified people who were hit hardest during the pandemic. And in keeping with our promise to recruit and enfranchise more BIPOC and trans members of our community, we were able to sponsor and attend the inaugural Trans Pride Long Beach, which was chaired by our very own Mallery Jenna Robinson. We have been able to pass resolutions advocating for groundbreaking progressive solutions to the most pressing concerns of our time, like the creation of the nation's first public bank and the elimination of racial and gender discrimination in the Los Angeles Fire Department. And we were currently hard at work developing the club's first ever diversity, equity, and inclusion statement, preparing to participate in the unveiling of the AIDS Monument in West Hollywood on World AIDS Day, and of course, perk up everyone, we're gearing up to make our first endorsements of the 2022 election cycle. Your support of the club is needed now more than ever, and after the sobering losses we experienced in Virginia 2 weeks ago, it's clear that protecting and expanding our majorities in the House and the Senate next year is going to be an uphill battle. While we may have defeated Trump, we have not yet defeated Trumpism, and it's crucial that we elect progressives up and down the ballot right here in LA County and throughout California in order to protect our community's interests. We are fired up here at Stonewall and ready to go, and your support helps make this work possible. So many of you here tonight have been such incredible allies and friends to the club and the community, and I want to acknowledge our elected officials in the audience tonight, starting with Assemblymember Richard Bloom, Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, Assemblymember Miguel Santiago. Thank you for being here. LA City Attorney Mike Fewer, LA City Controller Ron Galprin, good to see you. LA City Council members Mike Bonin, Paul Koretz, and Mitch O'Farrell. Nice to see you all here. Longtime friends of the club. West Hollywood City Mayor Pro Tem and honoree tonight, Sepi Shyne. West Hollywood City Council members John Erickson, Lindsay Horvath, and West Hollywood Mayor Lauren Meister are here. The California Democratic Party Secretary Melahat Rafai. Salam Melahat Jun, good to see you. And we've got some candidates in attendance as well. For Assembly, candidate for Assembly, Fatima Iqbal Zubar, Andrea Rosenthal, and Pilar Shivo, good to see you. Candidate for LA County Sheriff Eric Strong. Candidates for LA County Superior Court Judge Ryan Dibble, Patrick Hare, and Richard Quinones. Candidate for LA City Attorney Faisal Gill is here, and Heidi Feldstein Soto is here. Also candidate for LA City Controller Rob Wilcox. Candidate for LA City Council Jimmy Biblars, Scott Epstein, Steve Johnson, Sam Yebri, and Katie Young-Yaroslavsky are all in attendance. Thank you all for being here. Your support means the world to us and it helps the wheels go round. And finally, I want to thank the talented team of folks who collaborated to make this event a huge success, led by Devin Adante, our VP of Financial Development, and Freddie Puza, our Major Events Chair. You guys are incredible. And even on Zoom, this was a lot of work to put together, so thank you. Our VP of Communications, Jonathan Welch, Peter Denz, our Social Media Chair, who deserves a muffin basket and a hug, Alex Paris, our PR Chair, Jen Curcio for graphics, the entire comms team, Anna Cosmo on emails, the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles, who is here. Thank you so much for stepping in, and our host and new steering committee member, Mallery Jenna Robinson. Thank you for your invaluable contributions to the club. You are all crucial to the work that we do, and we look forward to working with you all in the future. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. With that, I'll turn it back over to our host this evening, Mallery.
Thank you, Alex, and all of the members of the steering committee. Your collective efforts make Stonewall the political force it is. You and your work are appreciated. To introduce our 2021 Organization of the Year Award is Jonathan Welch, Communications VP.
Thank you, Mallery. Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you. One of the pillars of our Democratic Party is to stand for the rights of workers. And no one fights for workers the way that unions fight for workers. Since 1983, union membership in the United States has declined year over year. That is until recently. This year, all across the country, workers have been putting pressure on industries and corporations to listen to the people who make them successful and to change practices. Union membership is on the rise again. And here in Southern California, Unite Here Local 11 has been instrumental in fighting for the rights of employees in the food, service, and hospitality industries. Unite Here has shown us all that politics is deeply personal, and the depth of our own stories has the power to shine a light on what needs to change. From ensuring that no one is left behind as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, to holding Hollywood institutions like Chateau Marmont accountable to its employees, Unite Here has been made up of tireless organizers guiding their 32,000 plus strong membership to make a major difference, not just in Los Angeles, but nationwide. Politically speaking, the folks at Unite Here keenly understand how important it is to elect leaders who will promote and craft policies that support the labor movement. By sending members and volunteers to canvass in Arizona, they not only helped President Biden flip and win that state, but they also helped to flip a Senate seat for Mark Kelly, contributing to the Democratic control of the Senate. The Stonewall Democratic Club is proud to give our first award of the night for the 2021 Stonies for Organization of the Year to Unite Here Local 11. As the son of a proud union carpenter, it's my personal honor to present this award to an organization that makes an immeasurable and lasting difference in our communities. Accepting this award on behalf of Unite Here Local 11 is Danielle Wilson.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. That was such an incredible introduction, Jonathan. You really hit on all the points. I can't tell you how proud I am to be accepting this award on behalf of Unite Here Local 11. This is such an honor to be recognized alongside some of the strongest fighters I know. What a message this really sends about what Stonewall stands for, what our values are as a club, to be standing alongside people like Mayor Pro Tem Sepi Shyne, who's been an absolute champion for workers in just a year on the West Hollywood City Council. Jasmyne, Karen, I mean, whoever the three of us take on next as a team should be scared. You know, this has just been an awful year for our members, transformative in the worst of ways. At the beginning of the pandemic, 95% of our members had lost their jobs. And this organization, Stonewall, has been there every step of the way, from supporting critical legislation to standing with workers against bad employers, to walking alongside our members in Arizona to beat Donald Trump. And I'm so happy you highlighted that, Jonathan. I'm so proud of the work we've done together. Can't wait to see what we do next. Thanks again. Good to see you all.
Congrats to Unite Here 11. We stand behind all of the work you do on behalf of workers. And now to introduce the Bob Craig Media Award, please welcome Devin Adunte, VP of Financial Development.
Hi, everyone. Our next awardee is a woman I've been admiring from the sidelines for many years. There's a million ways each of us knows Miss Jasmyne Cannick. She's worked in every level of government as a press secretary for different assembly members in the House of Representatives, including 5 different mayors. She was the first Black person elected to LACDP's Central Committee representing the 53rd District. She's currently in that role. She first caught my eye when she was the campaign director for Reform LA Jails, Measure R, as you might recall. I remember thinking, you gotta be a bad bitch to reimagine jails. I was utterly impressed. The campaign was a success and it's changing our city for the better through Measure R, through Measure J, and so on. But when I saw the work she did to expose Ed Buck, I was cheering from my TV and computer screens, watching her push the West Hollywood Sheriff's Department, former District Attorney Jackie Lacey's office, and the Democratic Party, using media to pursue justice, initially for Jamil Moore and then for Ed Buck's additional victims. I don't think I need to impress upon anyone here how hard it is to get the media and our governmental systems to care about the marginalized. Though Jamil Moore's death had initially been declared a drug overdose, Jasmyne published portions of Jamal's journal, which finally led to an investigation and the eventual arrest, trial, and conviction of Ed Buck. Jasmyne did that, and everyone knows it. The mere mention of my involvement in Stonewall has perked the ears of lawyers, journalists, activists, and advocates that are impressed with Jasmyne's efforts to hold Ed Buck accountable for his crimes. We are so proud of her journalistic efforts, and we are so proud that she's on Stonewall's board, and I'm so excited to present the Bob Craig Media Award to Miss Jasmyne Cannick.
Thank you.
Who's here with me?
Hey, everybody. I actually brought the award with me. So, hey, thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it. The first thing I want to say is that I did research on Bob Craig, and I'm absolutely honored to be getting an award in his name. The work that he's done, when I read about who he was, I didn't know he was the founder of, I think it was Frontier Magazine. I think that's what it is. Don't chew me out if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. But I was just like, okay, wow. Because when we get awards named after people, I think we have the responsibility to go back and see who those people are and the work that they did, because we're actually standing on their shoulders. So secondly, I want to say thank you to Stonewall. Thank you for receiving me. Thank you for having me. It hasn't always been an easy journey. You know, you can thank your former member for me becoming a member. And I'm actually happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to 2022 and the work that we're going to do. I know that sometimes people think that I'm mad and I'm mean and I'm angry. Yes, we have a reason to be angry. There's a lot of wrong going on in this world. And all of the work that I do, whether it's in government, politics, journalism, whatever, is always because I'm trying to help someone. I really appreciate the way Stonewall has stepped up in the past year to recognize the victims of Ed Buck and to try to right some of the wrongs that have been done that has not gone unnoticed. And I truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you everyone so much for this honor, and let's have a great night. And thank you to all my other honorees. So great to see you, Danielle, Sepi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congrats, Jasmyne. So you've heard a little bit about the club, but let's hear more about the club directly from the steering committee members themselves in a video we call I Am Stonewall.
I'm Stonewall because.
I am Stonewall because.
I am Stonewall because I am a beautiful, brave, Black trans woman.
I am Stonewall because I am a lesbian activist.
I'm Stonewall because Stonewall represents diversity and inclusion to me. It's a tool for all of us to feel empowered.
I am Stonewall because it is the place to be. It's the place where I feel most at home with people who share my values.
I am Stonewall because Stonewall means fight back, and I'm a fighter.
My activism is speaking up for those who cannot speak for themselves. I, for whatever reason, I don't know why, have a passion when it comes to helping people, particularly poor people, people who I feel like are being taken advantage of, people whose rights are being trampled on.
So my activism is centered on equality, whether for gay, straight, trans, you know, anybody. And so I think until everybody's equal, nobody's equal.
My activism is just being analytical about things, and when we set up legislation and put people in office, that's so important, and that's what I'm fighting for.
And my activism is to speak up when no one else will.
Being able to stand with empathy. I believe if we lead with empathy and have that empathy within our hearts, and each and every one of us can come together as a community. And my mantra with that is unity and community.
My activism is, I'd say parenting for the LGBTQ plus community, and normalizing the benefits that the heterosexual community gets as parents, and bringing that to our community.
My activism contributes to empowering queer BIPOC leaders.
My vision for Stonewall is creating a space for LGBTQ people that is reflective of the larger community, that's diverse, that's inclusive, that's accessible, and that's fair.
The more of us that see ourselves reflected in what Stonewall looks like and how it moves and operates, I think the better off our community as a whole and the nation will be.
Because I haven't seen that so much in the club in the past, and it's so important to have many voices in the room.
Deeply about Stonewall, where I want to see it grow, is for all of us, 800 plus strong, getting on the same page of what really matters, so that we, as one body, can speak truth to power ourselves.
People whose voices haven't been heard to get heard.
More inclusivity and a welcoming environment for everybody.
Getting to the point where I can actually be the one to make the change instead of trying to influence the people to make the change. I want to be the person to make the change. So I'll be an activist for my entire life. I'm sure of that. So.
Again, congrats to Jasmyne and Cannick and to the incredible work you've done. Next up is a little fun and entertainment. It is with great honor to welcome America's first trans chorus, the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles, who will perform a few songs for us. So please welcome Catherine Davis, who will introduce the chorus.
Thanks, Mallory. As Mallory's indicated, my name is Dr. Catherine Davis. I am the Executive Director of the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles, as well as a singer in the baritone section. Since our founding in 2015, TCLA has made an impact on the choral world by using our unique voices to be visible, bold, and proud. TCLA is the premier all-trans identified chorus in America. We're a chorus made up of transgender, gender nonconforming, gender non-binary, gender fluid, and intersex individuals. We celebrate diversity and acceptance in both appearance and vocal presentation so that others can see and feel the joy we share in our music. Through our music, we bring to everyone awareness, understanding, power, and victory for the trans community. On behalf of Abdullah Hall, our executive director, our artistic director, Rob Kuehl, the chairman of our board, and all the members of the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles, I want to thank you for having us here this evening and sharing in this wonderful event. Our first number is produced by one of our allies, David Boisclair and Picture Lock Entertainment. And it's a song that was written by Liz Rodriguez, Eric Alcott, myself, Abdullah Hall, and Donna Miller, who are members of our chorus. And it's a song about moving towards victory. We like to think of the chorus as taking people from victim to victorious. And that's the name of this song, Victorious. So I would like you to just sit back and enjoy this song and the production. Living authentically is not always easy, but it is living victoriously. Great, I hope you all enjoyed that wonderful video. And I hope you notice that Mallery is singing with our chorus, and we're so excited to have her in the chorus.
Oh, Catherine, it's so beautiful every time I see it.
Thanks, Mallery. Our second number is also one of our allies, is a wonderful singer, and she's brought a few songs to the chorus. And this one is about not quitting. It's called Don't Give Up. The artist and writer of this song is Maggie Szabo, who is 5'1" dynamo, and just we love her to pieces. She brings us all sorts of joy, and we love singing with her. So I hope you enjoy this as well. It's called Don't Give Up by the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles. And thank you once again for having the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles here. I'm so honored to represent the chorus, and congratulations to all the award winners, and continue your wonderful work. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Catherine. Again, just, oh, you look beautiful and just amazing. Oh my goodness. So again, let's give it up for the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles. You can find out more information about us. As you can see, I'm a member as well at the transchorusla.org. Now to introduce our Member of the Year award is Jane Weishart.
Oh, there we go. You would think after all these months, I'd know how to unmute myself, wouldn't you? Well, anyway, thank you so much. Hi, I'm Jane Weishart. I'm the political vice president. Before I'm done, I'm going to remind all the candidates in attendance, please fill out a request for endorsement form. I keep posting it in chat. But right now, I have an amazing opportunity to bring to you our volunteer of the year, our member of the year for this year. And I think many of you have seen her, but she's one of those people who just works like crazy, but doesn't go for the spotlight. So you may not realize how much she does. And that is Karen Eyres, our political, our chair of our political action team. But you know, she's not only the person organizing phone banks and canvases and everything else that she does, postcards, oh my God, so many postcards. But you know, she makes the world a better place in so many other ways as well. She is a volunteer for the court. I'm going to get this wrong. For CASA, which is court-appointed special advocates for homeless and foster youth. She's the president of Hollywood Now and has worked tirelessly for the rights of women and girls. She's also the vice president of Action for California Now, not just Hollywood Now. She's served in West Hollywood as a commissioner in a variety of ways, such as Public Facilities Commissioner, Women's Advisory Board, and now she's a Rent Stabilization Commissioner. And, you know, she just makes the world a better place in every way that she touches us. She's always the first person to raise her hand and say, how can I help? And she's always the last one out the door, turning off the lights when we're done with an action. So I'm so thrilled to be able to present to you Karen Eyres and to present to her our Member of the Year award. Karen.
Thank you, Jane. That was insane. I am just so filled with gratitude for this award, which means so much to me. And I'm filled with gratitude for the people of Stonewall, who I just love working with, love meeting with. Nadia Sutton, the wonderful, delicious Nadia Sutton, brought me to a Stoney's Award event so many years ago, and that was my introduction to Stonewall. And I knew right from the start I was in the right place. And the late, great Ivy Bottini, who was a past president of Stonewall, she cued me in on what Stonewall could mean for me, how I could work and get active and organized through Stonewall. So I'll forever be grateful to Ivy. And of course, Jane, once I got my sea legs at Stonewall, you were the one who really introduced me to all that was going on in the political realm, and how to, just how to lead, be a leader, which is just so freaking amazing. There's so much. Oh, and I have to say thank you to the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles for being part of this event. Such an amazing performance group, and just a great reminder that we have so much we have yet to do to fight for the trans community. They are just so under attack in so many places, and our work needs to continue for them as well. And goodness, thank you for everything. This is just the best club. I'm so proud to be a Stonewall member, and I hope everyone is fired up because we have lots to do in 2022. Thank you.
Oh, congrats, Karen. Again, thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of the club. To introduce this Sheila James Kuehl Trailblazer Award is our very own president, Alex Mahajer.
Hi, everyone. Before I introduce this award, I wanted to just spotlight some of our Stonewall steering committee members who are here and congregated together. Say hi, everybody, enjoying the festivities. And we're all so glad you could be here. All right, let's. So I'm really honored to be presenting this award to West Hollywood Mayor Pro Tem Sepi Shyne. Sepi Shyne is a lot of things. She has been an LGBTQ and civil rights leader for more than 20 years. She's a lawyer. She's served for years on the Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board in West Hollywood, on the Business License Commission, and on the LA County Assessors Advisory Council. But last November, she made history and did something remarkable. When she was elected to the West Hollywood City Council, she became the first openly LGBTQ Iranian American elected to any office anywhere in the world. And she did it by being an unabashed advocate for the marginalized and being unwavering in her commitment to social justice. Even when she was told no, to give up, that she would never be able to do it, she persevered firmly in her conviction that not only could she lead, but that her voice is needed in government. Now more than ever, the intersectionality that Sepi brings to elected office is incredibly transformative and necessary in and of itself. In a time where LGBTQ people are still killed in their home countries, and as we witness the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan towards women and LGBTQ people, having a fierce, outspoken, queer Iranian American woman leading the charge in elected office paves the way for others just like her to see it and believe it, that it's possible. In less than 1 year in office, Sepi and her colleagues have already made transformative changes as we emerge from the pandemic. From the creation of a social justice task force comprised of BIPOC residents, business owners, and workers, to strengthening tenant anti-harassment ordinances, to creating incentives for LGBTQ, BIPOC women, and resident-owned new businesses, to a minimum wage increase in the city of West Hollywood that will be the highest in the United States. Sepi Jan, خواهرم از طرف من به Stonewall ما بهت افتخار میکنیم و همیشه پشتیبونت خواهیم بود. Stonewall is so proud to award West Hollywood Mayor Pro Tem Sepi Shyne with the Sheila Kuehl Trailblazer Award.
Wow, thank you. Merci, Azizam, President Mahajer. Here's the, I don't know, you probably can't see it. I have the award. I'm sitting here with Ashley, and you can't see her either because of the background, but I want to thank you so much to the Stonewall Democratic Club for this incredible award. Congrats to all of the other incredible award recipients. I want to acknowledge my colleagues who are here tonight and thank them for their support. Mayor Lauren Meister, Councilmember Lindsay Horvath, and Councilmember John Erickson. I also want to acknowledge all of our West Hollywood appointed officials, including my Public Safety Commissioner, Alana Roche, my Women's Advisory Board member, Keely Field, my Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board member, Alex Paris, my Rent Stabilization Commissioner, Kimberly Copeland, Copeland, as well as Commissioner Karen Eyres, Transgender Advisory Board Vice Chair Mallery Jenna Robinson, Lesbian and Gay Advisory Board member Zakia Wright, Human Services Commissioner Chelsea Byers, and Senior Advisory Board member Nadia Sutton. And thank you to the Los Angeles City Council member Paul Koretz and all of the LA City Council for the beautiful proclamation that was delivered to my home yesterday. I sat down earlier today pondering the word trailblazer. I even looked it up in the dictionary because I'm a nerd like that. 2 definitions came up. One was a pioneer and an innovator. And the second was a person who makes a new track in wild country. I'm pretty sure both of these definitions apply to me, especially the second one with respect to making a new progressive track in Wild West Hollywood. You know, the thing about being a trailblazer, a pioneer, is that on an individual level, it takes a lot of courage. As an Iranian immigrant lesbian who came out when I was 17, I'm no stranger to harnessing courage. Running for office takes a lot of courage indeed, and so does sticking to your values when you're on the dais. Doing all of that, though, takes a community that holds your hand when you need it, helps to push you ahead and cheer you on when you need it, reminds you of why when you need it, and lends an ear when you need it. Trailblazers are only successful when the trails we create open pathways, opportunities, and inspire others to grow and blaze their own trails. For me, creating policies while I've been in office has been rooted in creating equity and opportunity for all people in our community. In the past 11 months, I've passed close to 40 items while on the City Council, and they have almost all been unanimously voted on and supported by my colleagues. Creating equity and opportunity is so important for all of us. And it's important to do it for all of us and to make sure it's not just for some of us. I could not have done all of this without the support of so many, including my wife, Ashley, my family, my team, Secretary Melahat Rafi, Corey and Teresa, my dedicated appointees and friends, West Hollywood residents, workers, business owners, organizations, unions, and Dem clubs like the Stonewall Democratic Club, which I am a proud member of. And of course, all of my colleagues on the City Council. Thank you so much for this award, and I hope that I can continue to blaze many more trails in the years ahead.
Congrats to Honorable Sepi Shyne for the unprecedented trail that she is blazing. Now we have a special treat for all of the honorees. Please welcome Honorable John Erickson, who will present a proclamation from the City of West Hollywood to all of our honorees.
Well, everyone, it's one of your favorite council members from the City of West Hollywood. We're honoring, we're all here with you. I brought a special guest because we're also doing double duty. And Mallery, we actually have some great news for you. You just won the Karina Samala Award here at the Imperial Court of Los Angeles. They called out your name because that's where we're at right now for another historic organization.
Well, from our from the city of LA, but we are so grateful to be celebrating all of our amazing honorees tonight, especially our colleague, Mayor Pro Tem Shyne. We're so proud of you. And we have a very special presentation.
So this is, in all due honesty, because we keep it real, you're going to get mailed this. So you will all get mailed a proclamation from the City of West Hollywood. But first and foremost, we want to congratulate, of course, our amazing Mayor Pro Tem Sepi Shyne. We love and adore you, and I'm so thankful for you.
I want to congratulate Jasmyne Cannick, fierce powerhouse woman who has spoken truth to justice more times than we can count. And we are just so grateful for her leadership and advocacy, which has truly made our community safer and has stepped up in so many ways to to advocate for Black people in Los Angeles and to make sure that all those who have been marginalized and counted out have a stronger voice and are amplified. Jasmine, I'm so proud to call you a friend.
Congratulations also, Jasmine. I also want to congratulate Karen Eyres, who I just love and consider a sister and so much. I also got the Member of the Year award many years ago, and I want to say we're all in good company. We are so proud of you. You go out of your way every single day to make sure everyone you know in West Hollywood is taken care of. I love you so much. And last but not least,
we all want to give lots of love to Unite Here Local 11, who's helped transform our community in so many ways. As was said, Unite Here shows up in all of the places that are making a difference and has helped to fiercely pave a new way, a new path. Should we call it the She path?
The She path?
And making sure that we are, holding ourselves accountable to our values in West Hollywood and our service. And I'm just grateful for the partnership of Unite Here Local 11, especially West Hollywood's own Danielle Wilson. Thank you very much for your leadership. And Jorge, I think I saw you on here too.
We love you, Danielle. So that's it from our neck of the woods. We're going to turn it back over to what I think is a very dapper looking President Alex Mohajer. Thanks for having us, everyone.
Thank you. Can I get another round of applause for all of our honorees tonight? Next, we're going to do a champagne toast. I'd like to invite Alex back to lead with us.
Everyone, thank you so much. Mallory, thank you so much. And not looking too shabby yourself, Dr. Erickson. Thank you for that beautiful presentation. To everyone here, why don't you raise a glass if you've got it? To Sylvia Rivera, to Marsha P. Johnson, to Larry Kramer, to Ivy Bettini, to Edith Windsor, to the names etched in blood and tears into our collective history, the many sweet unknown faces who have left us far too soon, to the shoulders we stand on, may we fight another day. Cheers.
Well, everyone, again, thank you all so much for attending. This concludes the awards programs for the 2021 Stonewall Democratic Club Stoney Awards. Please enjoy the rest of your evening and thank you for your attendance. Good night.
you.